Hi and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Today we would be doing the GFG Weekly Coding Contest post contest analysis of 150. So let's talk about the feedback of this problem. This contest was an easy problem if we are good enough in looking the constraints. So the first problem was a very easy problem, like do as said. The next problem was to look at the constraint and then doing do as said. And the last problem seems to be a difficult one, like it is the question mentions a difficult topic, but in reality it is very easy. Like we don't really need to get even the LCA of it. With just the idea that what is LCA, the definition of that is good enough. Okay, fair enough. Now let's start with the very first problem. Complete the staircase. Mhm. So any concern or queries from your side? Mhm. Okay, so now let us see this. So here we are told that we would be building up staircases where the first staircase would have 1, the next staircase would have 2, and the third staircase would have something like 3, and the fourth one would have 4, and the last one would have something like 5. Okay, so you can see a staircase kind of thing that is there. Fair enough. So now the very first one has one element, the next one has two elements, the third one has three, the next one has four, and the last one was five itself. Let's talk about this one also. So this is a staircase. Now you are told that how many steps you can draw out from the given n. Let's say in total there are n bricks. Okay, there are n bricks, and each one of this is a brick that you need to use. Okay, let's say the number of brick given is 7. Okay, so how many steps you can have? You can have one, because it requires one. After using one it would be 6, then you have 2, then it would be 4, then it would have been 3, then it would be 1, and here building out the next case would require 4. That is why you can't build out. So the answer for 7 bricks is 3 itself. अर्थात सिंपल शब्दों में समझा जाए तो पहला स्टेप में एक ब्रिक यूज होगा, जैसे एक ईट यूज होगा, दूसरे स्टेप में दो ईट यूज होंगे, तीसरे स्टेप में तीन ईट यूज होंगे, फोर्थ स्टेप में 4 ईटे यूज होंगे. ओके, सो आपको ये बताना है कितना स्टेप आप कंप्लीट कर पाओ. This is basically asked. Okay, so talking about the solution itself, it is very easy. How? See, build out the first case and subtract 1 from it. After subtracting 1 it becomes 6. Build out the next staircase and subtract 2 from it. Build out the next staircase and subtract 3 from it. So we have 1 at the end. Till the point we are able to build, we can do that. Like we can first subtract -1, subtract -2, then subtract -3. Not subtract, like it would be add. Subtract 1 from it, then subtract 2, then subtract 3, then subtract 4, then subtract 5. Till the point you are able to subtract. At each subtraction, you would increase a pointer until successful subtraction. You would keep doing it. The point where you are not able to do it, you would simply return the value. This is very evident from the solution itself. Okay, जब तक औकात रहे तब तक सब्ट्रैक्ट करना है, वरना फिर आगे बढ़ जाना है. Okay, so now let us move to this. Mhm. Yep, sure. Quiz mark. Yep, sure. I would be continuing in English. Sometimes I would be using Hindi. Okay. Complete the staircase. Okay. So let us implement it live. Let me just remove all the previous code first. Yep. Now let us start doing that. So initially, the number of steps I have built is 0, and I would start from I is equals to 1, and I would keep doing that until the leftover value is greater than equal to I. Like this house would require 10 bricks. Okay, so I till the point I have more than equal to 10 bricks, I will continue doing that. So n minus equals to I. If we have the power, then we would increment. Why? Because first we need to subtract 1, then 2, then 3, so this would increase, and at each successful subtraction we would increase the counter of it, and then at the end where we are not able to subtract anymore, we would return C. Now let us see if we can get an AC or not. Mhm. So I would copy out the solution and send it to you. Yep, it's done. Hi, Hacker Rank Coder. Hi, Soumya. Hi, Soumya. Yep. For first, I used binary search. Like doing what is said would be a more intuitive one, and I move forward with intuition. Like, how can I come up with a solution in a contest? So, yes, binary search would be an overkill for this because even the brute force solution works here. Okay. Now, first, let me explain up this question. Okay. Hi, Soumya. How are you? Now let me just share the screen. Complete the staircase. String matching. Now let me share the entire screen. Hi Abhijit Singh. How are you? Okay. So see this question with careful. Okay. In this question, it is mentioned that if you are, let's say, like this would be considered one operation. If you are at a current D, then you can either move forward to the next alphabet or either move forward to the previous alphabet. From D, either you can go to C or go to E. In the same manner, you can do this consecutively just to give you a proper idea that from A I can go to first B, which would be considered one operation, then B to C, which would be considered two operation, then C to D, which would be considered three operation, okay, then D to E, which would be considered as the fourth operation. So this is how we would be given. So now here you are told that given n strings, okay, given n strings, each of same length, okay, given n strings where each one would have the same length, you need to find a pair where the number of operations required to convert, like let's say the pair is s1 and s2, so the number of operations required to convert s1 to s2 and making both of them equal is minimum number of operation. अर्थात हिंदी में सिंपल शब्दों में समझा जाए तो n स्ट्रिंग्स है और हमारे पास दो पेयर है. ओके, सो हमें दो पेयर ऐसा निकालना है जिसके जिसके बीच का डिफरेंस सबसे मिनिमम हो। कैसे मिनिमम हो कि इसको इसमें कन्वर्ट करने के लिए, दोनों को सेम करने के लिए सबसे कम ऑपरेशंस लगे। Let us see the sample test cases and you would get a proper understanding of this. I think, yep. So I think this is good enough. So if you observe CDD and ZBA and DBG, so it is told that if we select CDF, so to convert the first character of this to this, C would be made to D. So C. First character ki kya, let's talk about the first character. So here the first character is C, here the first character is D. So either you can make D to C or C to D. Let's try to make C to D. So it would be C and then it would be converted to D. So here one operation is done. Next, we have D and we have G. So D would be first converted to E, E would be converted to F, F would be converted F, then G. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, three operations are there. D is converted to E, E is converted to F, F is converted to G. Say here D and G. Here it is also D and F. So first D would be converted to E, E would be converted to F itself. So here the contribution was just one conversion. Here the contribution was 3. Here the contribution was 2. So 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 1 is equals to 6. The number of operations minimum required is 6. And if you consider any other two strings, it would be this. So if you see up this, then you would be thinking that what I can do to solve up this problem. The very first thing that pops into my mind is that I would take the current, I would try to see the difference between all possible pairs. This is the first thing that would pop in your mind, that I would, for index, I would, let's say I have 5 index. So if I have 5 index, the very first thing that pops into my mind is, let's say there are 3 strings, S1, S2 and S3. Okay, so what I would do is I would try to kind of compare for all of them. Like I would compare S1 with S1 with S2, then S2 with S3. Okay, S1 with, like, let's just add some more. Okay, yep, S1 with S2, S, like, then it would be S1 with S3, then it would be S1 with S4, then S1 with S1 with S4 is enough. S1 with S4, and then it can be S2 to S3, then it can be S2 to S4, then S3 to S4. So if you observe, these are the possible two combinations that I can take. This is the first thing that pops into my mind. Okay, I would compare them consecutively. So this is the brute force approach. Now after I think of the brute force approach, I would look at the constraint. Is this possible? So when I say that brute force approach won't work, if the time constraint is not enough. So I saw the number of characters are, the number of words are just 50 and the word length is just 8. Okay, so a n square solution, like the number of elements are, number of words are just 50 and the number of characters are just 8. So 50 multiplied by 8. So for one element you can quickly afford it to go this much. So as the test cases are so small that you don't even need to do the computation that it is less than equal to 10 to the power 8 or not. This is from the constraint itself that yes, the values of my solution is equal to 10 to the power 8. So what I can do is I can simply take up S1 and S2 and I can solve up this value. Now this jumping thing is jumping thing is what bothers us. That can be also sort up something like this. Let's say this value is a and the other value is, let's say, e. So the ASCII value of a is like 95 or 65. What is the ASCII value? Let me just search it. I don't want to make mistakes. ASCII value A to Z 97. 97. Okay. So see, I know that the ASCII value of A is equals to 97, B is equals to 98, C is equals to 99, D is equals to 100, and E is equals to 101. So A value would be equal to 97 and B's value would be nothing but 101. So if you observe, if I do the ABS of the ASCII value, that is 101 minus 97, I would always get the correct one. Okay, so ABS. Okay, so I would get either I need to go from this side to that side or that side to this side. If I do an ABS of that, it can be done. Like a particular, like either A, if I say A and B is the answer. So either A can be converted to B or B can be converted to A or A can be converted to B. Both can be done. Now, it is not told that we can only convert S1 to S2 or S2 to S1. We can do both, either of the ways. That is why we take the ABS of that and then we add it to our answer. So now the structure would be such that we would be using a for each nested loop. For int I is equals to 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus, and then we would be using a j loop also. J is less than n, but here we would say j is not equal to I, and then we would simply have the ABS of s of I dash k and s of I dash k, and then we would simply consider the answer. Am I clear with the solution? Give me a quick yes or no, and then I would move forward with the implementation. Just give me a quick. I'm just making it a little bit quick because I think that this stream, this whole thing is a kind of no bullshit kind of thing. Like, you don't really want me to wait and then move forward. A lot of people are there. So quickly just tell me that this thing is. Mhm. Where is Karan Mashru, sir? By the way, I was on a break for the last weekend. This is me, Siddharth Hazra. As of now, I am the person who is scheduled for the weekly coding contest, post contest analysis. If you want a change in this, okay, like if you don't like me and something else, you can just write, like, just give your views in the comment section and I would forward it to the team itself. Okay, but if I'm making a mistake, kindly let my mistake know also. Like, what is the difference basically? Can you give solutions in Java? Okay, how many of you want solution in other languages like Python or Java? Python or Java? I think I need to implement this. Okay, fair enough. Now let us move forward to this. Okay, for some people anything is fine. If you want language specific, just quickly just reply in the chat itself. If you want something like language specific or something, then I would prepare myself also. I'm a very lazy person, as told. I would make this as A itself. Okay, so as all the length of the string is same, so I would say S of n is equal to A of 0 dot size itself. Okay, like I would take out the size of the very first string and it would be the same for the rest of the strings. I would initialize a very big answer, and this would be the global solve answer. Then for int I is equals to 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus. Then for I, and then we have a pointer to j which would move like this. So I would say for int j is equals to 0, j is less than n and j plus plus. And then we would say one more thing, that I should not be equal to j. Like I'm comparing me with me. So the difference between me and me is 0. That would be my answer. That is why I would say I would say something like sorry and j is not equal to I itself. Okay, I would initialize int temp is equals to 0. This would be my temporary answer for the number of operations required for I a of ing. Now I would just move forward with int k is equals to 0, k is less than s of n and k plus plus. So basically I and j is giving me the pointer to two strings, but I need another pointer k to move forward in those two strings. Okay, so now temp plus equals to abs of s of I dash k minus a of I dash j dash k. This would be a itself. Yep. At the end, after this whole comparison is done, I would say answer is equals to minimum of answer, comma, temp itself. And then at the end, we would return something like answer. It's done. This is a very simple solution. Talking about there might exist some more optimized solutions out there, but I won't be discussing that because the main aim, just let me give it first. The screen got blur. It would be due to your connectivity, but you can just tell me the line number at which you're not able to understand, and you also have the code itself. See, talking about the optimization of this question, I won't talk about that. Why? Because in a contest, like the whole goal of a contest is just to quickly solve the question as soon as possible. Okay, the optimizing question to its max is not the end goal you should have in a contest, in an online judge. Why? Because let's say this is the person A, and like this is me, who was able to solve all the three questions in 1 hour. And let's say my girlfriend is able to solve all the three questions in 1.5 hours. She took more time, but her solution is more optimized. As I was able to submit before than her, so I would be ranked above than her, even though her solution is more optimized. So यहाँ पे the execution time and getting an AC matters more than your optimization. The only thing that you should have is, would I able to surpass the time frame or not? This is the mentality that you should have. But in interview, we need to optimize the solution. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so the small optimization I can think of is, like, I don't really know if this would work or not. Okay, so because I too had the end goal ki AC karo wahi samjha aage badho, but still I think that optimized solution would be involving the use of a specific data structure of strings. Can anyone name that? Like जहाँ पे कैरेक्टर रखते हैं एक ट्री पे, what is that called? Can anyone tell me? Just one hint. Yep. So then you just need to see which was the closest string in that particular thing. Try. Absolutely. So basically, what I do is I would store all the values in a try, and I would see what is the closest string to me in the given try. Basically, see what is the problem that we are having. The problem is that we are comparing with all other strings. So I don't want that. That is causing the mean time complexity issue. Instead of that, I would store everything in a try, and I would be standing at a current strings, and I would be trying to find a string which is very close to me. Okay, and that would be enough. But I think that it would come under the hard category if we just optimize it. Still, there might exist some more solution, but I too require some amount of thinking time. Okay, I still kind of write like this. So this is how I code. Let's move forward to the last problem. Mhm. Am I done with this? Give me a quick one if I'm done. Like बहुत देर से one नहीं कर पाए. Give me a quick one. It would like give me a quick one to this. Yes, this one would be a very small optimization you can involve in this. J is equals to I plus 1. But this is not the complete optimized one. This is a very small optimization that can be done. Quickly give me a quick one if this thing is clear. Is ranking dependent on your solution? Is absolutely. Most of the time, 99% of the time, the submission time depends in a particular online judge. This is how online judge works. Because online judge can't really test the optimization level of your solution. Okay, so that is why it kind of uh, it kind of judges you on the basis of the time rank. This is how coding in a contest and coding in an interview is both different things. So now let's see the last one. Mhm. I can show up this tree. Okay, first let's talk about LCA. Mhm. No, judges are not setting like it. Like what happens is the compiler at the back, like the instances at the backend, like the whole backend is working in a fashion, and in 1 second it can perform 10 to the power 8 operation. So first it has a set of test cases. Okay, like they have the correct output for these all type of test cases. Okay, so now they would run the same test case for your solution. Okay, now there are two constraints. If at any point your solution is requiring more than 1 second, okay, then it would give you a TLE, throw you a TLE. Why? Because the compiler is told that if the number of operations get more than 10 to the power 8 in 1 second, throw a TLE. But if not, it would your program would have an output and this program would have an output. Now these two output are tallied. Okay, like they are compared if they both are equal or not. If they both are equal and you are able to surpass the time limit and the space limit, then you are given an AC. And third question is not hard, brother. Trust me, I would make it easy. Don't worry, it is not hard. Third question is a medium level question. If you are able to think good enough, it is not hard. Just understanding is needed. आप ही बोलोगे this is easy. Don't worry. So what are the knowledge that you require for the third problem is nothing but a good command over DFS. So if you are new to this DFS thing, consider learning about that at this point. Okay. So now see, the very first concept is talking about lowest common ancestor. Lowest common ancestor, as the name suggests. Okay, let's draw a simple tree. Mhm. And this is good enough. Now see carefully. Okay, lowest common ancestor, as the name suggests, is the common grandparent, which is equal for both, and it is lowest in this. So let's talk about these two. For these two, the common ancestor is nothing but this person. Okay. Let's talk about the common ancestor of this one and this one. For these two, the common ancestor is this one. Let's take a different color Okay. Now, for let's say this person and this person, the common ancestor is again this person. Okay. For this person and this person again, the common ancestor is this one. For this person and this person, the common ancestor is this one. Okay, like they both are the common ancestor, first common ancestor. If you observe, like, do we have something like this? No. So that is why the common ancestor is this one itself. Okay, so as they are common. So this question, let's talk about this question. Okay, first I would just draw out the sample test case first. So here in this question, you are told that for each node, tell me for how many pairs current node is an ancestor. Current node is an LCA. For each node, tell how many pairs the current node is a LCA, lowest common ancestor itself. अर्थात हिंदी में समझा जाए तो हर नोड के लिए ये निकालना है कि वो पर्टिकुलर नोड कितने नोड्स का एंसेस्टर है. Okay, this is what you need to tell. Let's see the sample test cases too. See, if given the structure of this, see, for 0 we have 0 0, like 0 0 is the lowest common ancestor of this. Then the very next one is 0 1, this one as well as this one, they both are common ancestors. Okay, like I would be the one. Then we have something like 2, like let's say my father asked me that for both of us who is the common ancestor. So I would say, father, you are the common ancestor, because for you are the parent, and for me also you are the parent. For both of them I am the parent. For 0 3, for 0 and 3, they both are the common ancestor. Okay, like let's say what 0 2, see, from 0 to 4, see, from 4 to 0, both are the common ancestor. From 1 and 2, both would collide at this point, that is 0. For 2 and 3, 2 and 3 would collide at the point 0. 2 and 4, they both, 2, from 2 we walk to 0. From 4 we walk to 1, 1 we walk to 0. So the point at which they would meet is 0 itself. Do I make sense? Do I need to draw the test cases? So depends on its child element, question mark. Yep. So we have 4 pairs, 0 0 1 0 1 1 2. I'll say 0. Yep. Okay. That is why we are kind of having this. Okay. So now you can see the test cases on your hand. The understanding of the test case is not that greatly intended to the solution, but a very simple case is there. The very simple cases, see carefully. Okay, the understanding of LCA is enough for this. So see, let's say we have a particular node at this point. Okay, so here let's say a particular subtree is present. This side is the left side of it. This side is the right side of it. And let's say we have one more. Let's say, okay, this side, like, no, let's directly not jump this. Let's first talk about intuition. So see, if you observe, okay, now see, if I talk about the root node, let's talk about just one node at this point. If I talk about the root node, The number of folks this would be an LCA is these all with these all. To understand properly, I can say that let's enumerate them also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's say this is 0. So I can say, so I can simply say 1 can be 1 and 4, 1 and 5, 1 and 6. For all values with 1, like all the values on this side with 1 would have the LCA as 0. Okay. So in the same manner, for all the values on 2 with all the values on this side would have the LCA as 0. Okay. So I can say that these three values would be an LCA with these three values. So it would be nothing but 3 multiplied by 3. Okay. 3 multiplied by 3 values. Okay. For 3 multiplied by 3 combination, they would have the LCA as 0. How 3 multiplied by 3? Let me just show you that also. So for 2, it would be 2 to 4, 2 to 5, 2 to 6. Then it would be 3 to 4, 3 to 4, 3 to 5, 3 to 6. So see, these are all the combinations you have. So all the values on this side with all the values on that side. Let's say यहाँ पे 5 values है, यहाँ पे 3 values है. So 5 multiplied by 3 are the proper combinations that I can have if I choose one element from this side multiplied by one element from this side. Okay. So am I clear with this idea or not? That the number of times 0 would be an LCA is nothing but left subtree size multiplied by right subtree size. Do I make sense? Tell me a quick yes or no. Like, let me just start this, see the stream result. I don't want to remove this. You can quickly just digest it till this point. Just give me a quick yes or no. Question mark. Am I clear to you? Question mark. I'm confused. No issues. See, to make 0 as the particular LCA, like for how many people 0 would be the LCA? This is what is asked. So I can say 1 would be an LCA with all the values on this side. 2 would be an LCA for all the values on that side. What I want to say is, let's say I'm in a family tree. Okay. Like let's say I am the father. Okay. I have one daughter. I have one son. So for all the members of my son's family, with all the members of my daughter's family, I would be the LCA, that is lowest common ancestor. So if my son has a son, okay, let's say this is me and this is my son, this is my daughter, okay, and my son has one more son and my daughter has one more daughter. So what I am trying to say is that all the values on my son's side with all the values on this side, I would be the lowest common ancestor. Okay, like me, like my son with my daughter, they would have the lowest common ancestor. This person with this person would have be the lowest common ancestor. Then like crisscross would also happen. To have a proper understanding, like let's say this is me and my son's name is A, my daughter's name is B, my son's issue's name is C, and this name is D. I say that. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that all the people on this side with all the people on that side, I would be the lowest common ancestor. Like A and B, A and D, C and B, and C and D. So what I'm trying to say is left side size multiplied by right side size would give me the number of pairs for which I am the lowest common ancestor. Now do I make sense? So Abhijit and question mark. Do I make sense to you all? Rakesh Singh, finding the number of elements to the left and right is a different thing. Let's say it is a different thing, but is this idea clear to your mind or not? How we are getting the size and not, we are not considered about that. But as of now, just tell me if this is true or not. This fact is true or not. This fact is true. चलो अच्छा, चलो अच्छा. अब I can see something. Now the question is, nothing but for all the, what I need to do is, for each node, I need to find the subtree size. Subtree size and multiply among each other. Let's say this is the root node. This subtree size is A, this subtree size is B, this subtree size is C. Okay. So it is nothing but what I need to do is I need this value. For this particular value, the subtree size would be A multiplied by B multiplied by C. This would be the answer for this node. Same thing. Instead of just 2 branches, this is 3 branches. So for each node, I need to find the subtree sizes of all its descendant, and then I need to multiply in this fashion. So this can be done by DFS. If you don't know, just learn about finding the size in DFS, finding the subtree size in DFS. Find the subtree size using DFS. Still, I would just show you the dry run how it is done. So what can be done easily is we can call out the DFS function and the return type would be an integer. For the particular node, I would first call the DFS function for the lower part, and then I would have an answer for that, and then I would simply multiply. Like basic DFS, we would find the subtree size, we would multiply it, and then we would return. Okay, and then we would build out a graph kind of something. Now this would become more easy. If you are not good with DFS, then finding the subtree size using DFS would be a little bit difficult. So if you're not able to, like, if you're not okay, I would just talk at the end. So now let us go to this. So I would find the subtree size by doing this. Okay, so I would say using LL is equals to long so that the code remains clean. And at this point I would say using. Okay, so I would say the return type is void and DFS function. Okay, at this point vector int g, that is the graph that we would be making. Okay, first let us make the graph. Okay, so we would say vector int g of size n. So if you observe, the tree looks like something this. 0 does not have any parent, so we are not doing that. Then we have an edge from 0 till 1. So I would go from the P of I. Okay, so now what I would do is I won't go from 1. Okay, I won't go from 0 because there is no point in going to 0. That is the root node, and root node does not have any parent, and the value would be -1. So root node does not have, like, root node would definitely be -1. So I would start from the second element. I is less than n and I plus plus. At this point, what I would do is I would say g of p of I dot push back. Okay, I. Now, for those who are not able to visualize what I'm really doing is graph editor. Let's see what I'm basically doing. How am I building really the graph? So let's just take this. Let's take this line. Okay, let's take this line and let's take this line. Then you would understand this. Okay, so now see this with care. P of I. So P of I, we would start from the second element. So that is, we have an edge from 0. We have an edge from 0 till the value of 1. 0 to 1. Then we have an edge from 0 to, see, P of I, it would come here, and 0 to 2. Okay. Then we have an edge from 0, 1 to 3. So 1 till the value of 3. So we have this kind of thing. Then 1 till the value of 4. So now if you observe, like if I keep 0 something like this, okay. Now see, the same graph kind of thing I'm getting. See. Okay, this is how this is working. This is why I am doing this. Okay, do I make sense? Why I am writing this? See, P of I में क्यों किया? Not I to P of I. This is how I am doing that. This is the dry run, a proper dry run of what is happening inside the hood. Okay, now let's go back to this old value. So now at this point, I would say vector int of long, and we would initialize answer of everyone, like all sub answer value as 1, like 1 by 1 to hoga hi. Okay, like 5 with 5 would be a LCA thing. That is what is told. So that is why initially me with myself, it is also a case in the question. That is why I'm initializing everything to 1, so that me and me thing is already handled by default. Okay, now we have something like vector of long of answer of size n. Okay, and this would be initialized to 0 initially. Okay, this would be size. This would be the subtree size basically. Okay, subtree size. So initially the subtree size of everyone is 0. Okay, then we would draw a DFS function. So DFS function, what all things we would have? We would have the graph itself. Then we would have something like vector int long pass by difference and then answer. We would have vector int, okay, and subtree size. And subtree size we would have subtree size, and then we would have something like int the particular value. Okay, like we would start from 0. We would start from the very root node. Okay, we would start from the root node. So the starting point. This is the starting point. Now I would start sharing my tab to have a better visual. LCA common pairs, and this is how it should be. Chalo. Now at this point, I would say initially the subtree size is 1. Then I would go to all the neighbors, like from 0, we would go to all the neighbors of subtree size. And this function would return subtree size kind of thing, calculate subtree size of G of U. Okay. First, we would find the subtree size of this particular person. Okay. Like what did we really have? Subtree size of this. So first we would calculate the subtree size first. So DFS of G, comma, answer, comma, subtree size, the same subtree thing, and then the value E. First we would say, like we found a child of that particular node. First I would say, please don't come here, first find out the size and then come to me. अर्थात हिंदी में समझा जाए तो हमने ये देखा कि पहले मुझे साइज चाहिए फिर मैं उससे बात करूंगा। तो मैं क्या बोलूंगा डीएफएस फंक्शन को, भैया आप पहले अपना साइज जान के आओ इस चाइल्ड का, उसके बाद सब ट्री साइज का साइज जान के आओ, फिर आपसे मैं बात करता हूँ। तो इसीलिए मैंने बोला कि आप पहले अपना साइज जान के आओ। आफ्टर आई एम डन विद द साइज, I would say answer of this particular u plus equals to, okay, answer is equals to subtree size, whatever the subtree size I would be having up till now, multiplied by this subtree. Okay, multiplied by this subtree. Like initially we have 1. Why we have 1? Because 1 multiplied with the current subtree size, like 1 with 5 is 5. Then 5 with next 5 is 25. That is why we are having this. Then we would say add the value. Like first we would have 5, then 5 plus 5, 10. Then these all 10 values multiply with the current 5. Then these all 15 values multiplied with next value, something like that. So we would keep increasing the subtree size of that. Okay, subtree size of itself. At the end, we would say subtree size of u is equal to, subtree size of u is equal to subtree of all of the values from its child. Okay, what is basically subtree size? Subtree size is nothing but all the values from its siblings, cumulated values from its siblings. So we are accumulating the value in this sub and we would be assigning that to sub. Here in this subtree of x. अर्थात हिंदी में कहानी की तरह समझा जाए तो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ कि भैया देखो, पहले मुझे एक चाइल्ड मिला तो मैं बोलूंगा देखो अपना सारा सब ट्री का साइज लेके आओ पहले, उसके बाद मैं आपसे बात करता हूँ। जब मैं आया तब मैं क्या बोला, ठीक है देखो पहले 5 था, अब तुम नए आ गए, सो 5 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 5 25 हो गया, सो आई एम एडिंग दैट टू द आंसर। बट at each instance what is subtree size? Subtree size like एक नोड है उसका subtree size is what, यहाँ से 5 आया तो 5, यहाँ से 2 आया तो 2, subtree size क्या हो जाएगा 5 plus 2, so this would be the total subtree size of that. That is why I am doing this. Okay, so now I would be calling the dfs function of g comma answer comma subtree comma, we would start from the root node and then we would return the answer. This is this easy. You don't really need to find the LCA or something. Now let me see how many errors I am making. Via DFS. Use, okay, didn't use this. N was not declared in the scope. Let's make this lowercase. A very lazy person again. For int I is equals to 1. There is no matching function called G answer subtree comma 0. Here we would be saying G answer subtree and this particular E. Seems correct. G of n. Again, error of no matching function call DFS of G answer subtree. This is expecting an integer. Okay, so I think I need to just do something like LL and this should work. Okay, for no matching function for 33, line number 33. Okay, so DFS G answer. Am I making a very silly mistake kind of thing? मुझे लग रहा है. Okay, I think this would be LL also. This is the issue. Yep. So basically, I was making a vector of long long, but my mistake, I wrote int. So I thought that I'm making a very silly mistake. Yep. Yep, it's done. So now I would give the solution to you. You can quickly tell me the line number at which you are not able to understand. Then today's stream would end at this point. Line number 16. Yep, I knew that I knew that people would have solutions in this side, but in that. Okay. Sir, I have question the second question. Can you write that? Please explain it before the ending lecture. Okay, I would just bookmark it and explain it at the end. Sir, is this logic is clear but not able to understand the code? Okay. Find the size of subtree. You would find the question. Calculate the subtree size at each node. Yep. This is basically an implementation of that. Yep. Kindly learn this. This is basically the question. If you're not understanding the code, then it is clear. If the logic is clear, then it is fine. You were here for logic, not for a solution. So if the logic is clear, then it is fine. Just learn the calculate the number of nodes in all subtrees, and then you would understand this. See, here in this, the code would be absolutely the same thing. Add an edge, output and illustrations. Yep, recursive call for this. See, here we are adding the value. Okay, like the very same thing, just a small bit of addition in that. Okay, so not able to understand the code. So this is, you need to understand this one to understand the code of that one. Please send me the left like skew tree. Yep, this is the question that you can simply read other articles also. Like this is a very famous question. Subtree size of this. See, this is explained by many people. You can find this person code unquote is very good enough. Okay, calculating subtree size. Like this is a very like this is a, like if you're learning about DFS, this is a very standard thing that you should learn. You can rely on code unquote. I have myself learned a lot from code unquote by following code unquote. I'm gonna make a DFS, then recursively call DFS and multiply all things, etc. According to the like, it will it work or not? Yes, absolutely. This is the solution. It is the solution. This is what the solution I have implemented. Am I good enough? Do I need to explain the article also? Please don't spread hate that the mentor is not able to explain. So if you're comfortable, if you can go home and read that question, and then you can ask me if any doubt arise, or should I explain that one also? How many of you are comfortable with till this point and I should wave off? Give me a 1. If you want me to explain that article also, give me a 0, and I'm good enough to explain that also. Give me a quick 1 for those of you who wants me to explain find the subtree size of all nodes. Quickly give me a 0. If you are good enough, like you are satisfied, give me a quick 1. Okay. Okay, क्योंकि अब थोड़ा like now the whole crowd has become a big. Okay, like earlier I was able to reply to comments, like the audience was small, but at this point I do a lot of streams, I receive a lot, like whole views are accumulated. So nowadays I am getting affected by comments or something. Okay, so if you are comfortable learning that, it is fine enough. Okay, Valentine wants me to explain. This is good enough. Vishal wants me to explain. Any other people apart from these two people? Okay, so let's till this point, let me just tell you that. Sir, I have a question. You have written a of 0 is equals to size. So see, it is told that every string would have the same size. So what I do is, to know the that size which is same for everyone, I just pick up the first element, know its size, and that would be sufficient enough. This is why I did. So बोला ये जा रहा, अर्थात हिंदी में समझा जाए तो सारे स्ट्रिंग का साइज एक ही है. सो मैं पहला, क्योंकि मुझे पता है एक से ज्यादा तो वैल्यूज होंगी, सो मैंने पहला का साइज निकाल लिया और मुझसे पता चल गया कि वो कौन सा वैल्यू ऑफ n है जो सबका साइज इक्वल है. ओके. Okay, so fair enough. This is good. Only 2 or 3 people are there. So you already have a video by Code and Code. You can rely on that. I would send you the link of Code and Code also. And then you can come back to this whole video. Even so, even after this, okay, I don't think a repetition is necessary. That would only take 15 minutes. Okay. Even after this, if you are not able to understand, like learn this thing, then come back to this question. Even after that, if you are not able to understand the logic, kindly let me know in the video itself, but complete the process and then come back. Okay, just itna. So as of now, if you have genuinely tried to understand, if you're not able to understand, and if you found the error in my teaching methodology, then give me a negative feedback. All, or if you are good enough, just give me a positive feedback. That would push the YouTube algorithm to hype up this video. And किसको appreciation अच्छे नहीं लगते. I too get affected by appreciations. Okay, so that's it for today. If you have any concern or queries, I would be waiting for the next 1 minute, and then I would be turning off the stream itself. Okay, please drop Java code also. Okay, like I didn't really found the crowd who wanted Java or Python code. Like if the crowd was more, like I would say for the, like if you want language specific codes too, kindly say that in the comments also, so that I can integrate that in the next stream. Give me email, I will give Java code. Okay, like you can discuss on yourself. Anyone has any further issues or wants to ask anything, I would wait for the next 30 seconds now, and then I would turn on the stream. Java Python, please kindly tell me in the comments so that other people also know what is happening and they can also vote, and then I can simply integrate that. Java and Python ki need ho sakti, because nowadays only C++ is not that. But see, the thing is, I'm giving you the solution itself. So you can just paste it on chat GPT and say find the implementation of this, and it is good enough. Okay. Yes, Exbo, tell me what is the issue. बताओ क्या issue है. You are a person who is okay. Okay. Expo, can you quickly tell me your issue? Okay, many people require Java. Yep, nowadays people are like many people are coding in Java and Python. So I do think that it is high time I start floating the Java and the Python code too. Just quickly tell me, Expo, how are you handling the case that a node with itself make a pair? Thank you. I'm handling by this. See. See this. Here, if you observe, I'm initializing the answer with the value as 1. And here I am adding. That 1 is already there in the answer. I'm initializing every value with 1 and then I'm simply adding. So पहले से 1 था और अब मैं जब ऐड कर रहा हूं, इसका मतलब मैंने पहले से ही सब में एक 1 ऐड कर दिया. What I did was, by declaring this as 1, I added 1 to every other index. And this is how I would be handling, because I know me with me would happen for every node. This is how I have handled. Okay, is your issue resolved? Exbo, quickly tell me, then I would turn on the stream. और कुछ पूछना है और कुछ जानना है तो पूछ सकते हो. Now you can ask unofficial queries also in the comment section, and then it's done. थोड़ा मजा मजा तो ले ही सकते हो, उतना भी सो कॉल्ड सीरियस स्ट्रीम तो होती नहीं. चलो, that's it. for today. Thank you and have a nice day. So, if you're watching this stream in the recorded version, consider liking and commenting on the video so that the reach of this video could be increased. If you are low on time, at least comment a one so that the algorithm pushes it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Happy weekend.